Do you hate cleaning? On today's The Purge. Are you trying to find an easy way to clean less and have your space appear less cluttered and more organized? There's a solution, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to declutter your home and keep it nice and tidy with a minimal amount of effort. Hi, I'm Margo, and I am always looking for ways to declutter my small city apartment and keep it that way. And ever since I started implementing these strategies, my home remains a clutter-free haven all the time. Okay, most of the time, because I have kids, so most of the time. If you are a working mama and you want to successfully survive work, life, and mommyhood, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell. I release brand new videos every Wednesday. Clutter is very overwhelming, both for our homes and for our minds. And let's be honest, most of us don't like decluttering, but at the same time, we just want all of this stuff gone. I mean, do you feel like your clutter is serving you an eviction notice? So how do you start? The first thing you should do is decide whether or not you want to run a marathon or a sprint. So what do I mean by that? Well, there are three main ways that you can declutter. So you can choose, number one, you can declutter everything in a day. Who needs sleep? And I really hope you have a small space. Number two, you can declutter a few hours a day along the span of maybe several months, right? And it doesn't have to necessarily be every single day. You know, it could be 3 times a week, it could be twice a week, however amount of time you can dedicate to the process. And then lastly, number three, you can declutter in batches. And what do I mean by declutter in batches? Essentially, you will do a little bit each day. So you can do something for 5 minutes. Maybe you want to declutter a drawer in your kitchen. Or maybe one day you want to spend 20 minutes going through like a bunch of owner's manuals to products you probably no longer own. But the whole entire point is it will take you longer, but it doesn't require a lot of effort because you're truly doing a little bit each time. I'm really not here to dictate which method you should choose. I think that the most important thing is selecting a method that works for you. It has to be your own. I will say this, if you're somebody who hates decluttering and cleaning in general, you'll probably want to bang it out as quickly as possible. The point is to just get it done and forget about it. And then for all of you folks who are just lazy about this entire process, get it over with and go binge your favorite show as a reward. To make this process more streamlined, one of the biggest things that you can do is prep in advance. I think that is so important. Instead of just walking into your space, you know, one day on a Sunday and you're like, today I'm feeling it. Today is the day I'm going to declutter. Mind you, you have no garbage bags. You have absolutely no plan of where you're going to start, right? What you're going to tackle. There's absolutely no system. And not only that, you completely forgot that you have to take your daughter to a birthday party at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So your whole process of decluttering in a day, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Preparation with the decluttering process is so important and makes the process much smoother. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're scheduling a day or days in advance of when you're planning to declutter. You want to clear your calendar and make the process easier. My recommendation, here's a tip, okay? If you hate doing this, enlist the help of your family and friends. Buy them pizza, take them out to dinner, offer to do them favors. But again, if you want to declutter as quickly as possible, I say get yourself an army and have your family and friends help out. If you like your printable to-do list, I actually have a whole series of printable to-do lists in my Etsy shop. I will leave a link down in the description below. So when you're preparing to declutter, have a system in place. So here are some helpful tips. Number one, you want to write down where are you going to start. So What room are you tackling first? Are you going to start in the basement? Are you going to start in the kitchen? Are you going to start in the bedroom, the bathroom? Are you going to start with your closets? Are you going to start maybe by category and going through all of your books, or through all of your throw pillows, or through, I don't know, all of your kids' toys? Where are you going to start, right? So you want to plan that out, where you're going to start, what's next, room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, right? So it's very, very organized and you stick to a schedule. Number 2, who are you decluttering with? Who's helping you? Is it your kids? Is it your mom? Is it your spouse? Who's helping you? Number 3, make sure you have enough garbage bags. That is very important. When you're on the roll of the decluttering process, one of the biggest things that can happen is like, oh my God, crap. I ran out of garbage bags and I have nowhere to put all this stuff. So now you got to pause. You got to get in your car. You have to drive to the grocery store, or walk to the grocery store, and you have to pick up garbage bags. Nobody wants that because it completely impacts the momentum of the decluttering process. Then, I always make sure to have good music on. I think that, again, because decluttering is not, it can be a fun process, right? If you enjoy it, but oftentimes it could be emotional because you're letting go of things that maybe you have sentimental value attached to. After a while, you get super duper tired, right? It can be extremely exhausting. I love to have good music on. I think that puts us in a very, very good mood. Also, you want to make sure that you're taking breaks, right? You want to make it a fun experience, especially if you're doing it with other people. Order pizza or sushi, give you guys a break, have fun, laugh about, share memories about the items that maybe you found as you were decluttering. If you're getting value from this video, show me some love by hitting that like button and let me know in the comments below, how often do you declutter? So where should you start? And there are 2 main ways to sort of begin the decluttering process. You can either declutter by room or you can declutter by category. So I've actually tried both methods. And depending on the situation or if I'm doing a massive declutter versus I'm kind of like decluttering throughout the year as I go, you might prefer one over the other. Honestly, I prefer by room. And for me, it's because there's a certain level of satisfaction when I've completed a space, right? So let me talk about what the difference is. So by room is exactly what it sounds like. So essentially, you would tackle your entire kitchen, or you would tackle your entire attic, or you would tackle an entire bedroom, right? So you kind of just go room by room by room. And obviously, there are a lot of things in each space. By category is when you're essentially self-selecting items to declutter. So for example, all of the tools, all of the books, all of the clothing, all of the toys, things of that nature. So you can go either one. You can even just play around with it and see what works best for you. If you're looking to do a deep declutter, check out this video on Swedish death cleaning. It's a spine chiller. One of the major benefits of decluttering by category is it gives you a clear visual of just how much of something you have. So, for example, if you're decluttering all of your, containers in the kitchen, right? And you kind of just go through all of your drawers because, sometimes they're in like various places depending on where you can shove them, right? And then you take everything out and you put it on the kitchen table. All of a sudden you're like, why do I have 32 containers and only 5 of them have lids, right? And some of them, let's be real and honest, don't look very good and are super dirty and probably should have been thrown out about a year ago. But it really gives you insight of just how much stuff you have. Also, as I'm doing this, have you ever had that moment where you just kind of like take out an entire drawer and you have multiples of the same exact thing and you're like, oh my God, I have bought this item like 9 times, right? So not only that, you're like really wasting money. So after you've decided where to start and after you've chosen a method, right? And after you've planned and done all of these things, here are some decluttering tips. So whenever I am decluttering, every time I encounter an item or items, I'm always asking myself these 4 questions. Number 1, do I use it? Ladies, be real with yourself, okay? Not, will I possibly kind of sort of use it 8.5 years from now? No, do you use it? Number 2, Does it spark joy? Is this an item that makes me happy? Okay. Number 3, would I buy it again? Let's all be honest. There were times where maybe it was that time of the month, or maybe we were not in a good headspace and we kind of went on a shopping spree and to make ourselves immediately feel better. Look, it works. I love it, right? And you bought a bunch of stuff that maybe you didn't really need because it looked pretty and shiny, and you just thought to yourself, maybe I will have use for it one day. And now you do. The use you have for it is to either donate it or throw it in the garbage. So ask yourself the question of, would you buy it again? And if the answer is no, it has got to go. And finally, would this item make somebody else happy? Right? Would holding on to this item, maybe for the future to give to your kids or your grandkids, would this item potentially, realistically, make someone else happy? If the answer is no, then I will get rid of it. So here's the secret for all of you folk who hate cleaning and decluttering. Once you've completed the decluttering process, maintain it. Stop bringing more crap in, right? The rule of thumb always is more should go out than comes in. So now you've overhauled, you've decluttered, you had a good time with your family, you forced yourself to do this entire process. Maintain it. The best way, right, to not have to declutter as frequent and do such an overhaul is just to not create clutter, not create chaos. Always ask yourself, would I want to go through this decluttering process again? Now, guys, the reality is that we're human beings. We have families. We're always going to bring stuff in, right? So a certain level of decluttering will need to be done, maybe not on a daily basis or a weekly basis, but maybe once a month, twice a year. That's just a reality when people actually live in a home. I have found what works for me is having this rule where I don't come home with something that I did not intend to buy. Yes, that's right? Those just out of nowhere, this urge to buy something. I'm like, do I really need it? I did not, I decided to go to the supermarket. Why am I stopping by the clothing store across the street? Like, if I did not set out to do this, if I did not set out to buy it, I am not going to. And usually what works for me in those impulsive moments is I go home, I think about it, right? Should I have actually bought that? And then if I still feel like I should have, and that particular item can contribute something to my happiness, my home, my family, then you know what? I will go out and buy it. I am by no means a minimalist. I enjoy stuff. My home feels like a home. As you can see behind me, I have artwork on my walls. I have trinkets. By the way, that's my dog Coffee, who's usually in most of my videos sleeping, thankfully, while I record. But the point is, I have stuff. It's just not having too much stuff. So again, adapting the mentality of not purchasing something that you did not set out to buy will save you from bringing a lot of clutter into your home. So if you're someone who hates cleaning, don't do it to yourself. Don't bring in the clutter. Leave the clutter out. And now let's talk about mindset. So the first thing that you should consider is you want to commit to the decluttering process. Yes, it is a process. So commit to declutter, step number 1. Step 2, go at your own comfortable pace. If you want to declutter in a day, in 3 months, twice a year, go at your own comfortable pace. Number 3, use a method that works for you. Look, guys, the reality is there are a lot of methods to decluttering. You can go as extreme as Swedish death cleaning. You can kind of pick and choose how you do this process, how long the process takes, where you start. Customize it to fit you, right? We naturally don't enjoy the decluttering process. So then assigning somebody else's way of doing it that doesn't necessarily work for you, well, guess what? Most likely you're just going to give up prematurely. And finally, keep things organized. This is one of the biggest issues. It's like we will declutter or do like the whole spring cleaning once a year. And then within 2 months, it's like clutter galore in our house again, right? I mean, you just went through so much decluttering, right? You put in so much time and effort to go through every single item in your house. and now you're bringing the clutter in. It's just not worth it. So please keep things organized. Comment below, let me know what room in your house is a cluttered mess. If you dislike cleaning, decluttering your home and then keeping it that way is the way to go. Less stuff means less upkeep and also less stress. Be sure to head over to this video next where I share 6 decluttering hacks which I've implemented over the last couple of years, which have completely transformed my home. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and that notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember to be good to yourselves.